So we're here today outside of Salt Lake City, Utah, and we ran into one of my oldest friends in the Western United States. Her name is Courtney. We both taught yoga at the same time, and we got our photographs done with the famous photographer Jim Campbell at the same time, like 8 years ago in Moab, Utah. So we're here today to do a walkthrough on her cargo trailer conversion, if she's home. So let's see if she's here. Oh, now he stepped down because he's being filmed, so he's being a good boy.
Yeah, it's like, no.
I'm being a good boy because I'm getting filmed. When I called my friend Courtney, it turns out that she actually has a girlfriend and they're getting married this year in the fall. Her name is Sara, so she lives in the cargo trailer as well. So we're gonna get to meet both of them. You ready? Let's go. Hello, is anyone home?
Hey!
Hey!
How's it going?
It's Courtney
Hey!
and Sara.
Hello.
And you know me, Angelica from Born to Be Nomadic. I'm here today to do this walkthrough of this amazing cargo trailer that these ladies did themselves on a budget of under $7,000. You're gonna be amazed and excited when you see it. Okay, ladies. So, how long have you been living in the trailer?
Just over 4 months.
4 months. And you did the build out. How long did it take you?
It was a little rushed with just about 2 weeks to go from a naked cargo trailer to what you see here now.
Wow,
We did some pre-planning, but the actual build out took 2 weeks, yeah.
Right.
Okay, awesome. Where did you find the cargo trailer?
In Castle Rock, Colorado, just south of Denver, north of Colorado Springs.
Was it a dealership or Craigslist or?
Yeah, I think it's called Colorado Craft Trailers.
Okay, awesome. So what did it come with when you got it?
It was a blank trailer. It had this E-track, this black E-track installed. It had a little bit of insulation in these walls in it.
And this floor.
And this floor.
That's dirty.
That's dirty. Life on the road. And it had the 2 windows and a couple of lights that work when you're hooked up to the truck.
As well as the back door and the side door you're just coming to.
So tell us a little bit about how you cook in here.
So we've got this little cooking area up front. We just have a nice solid surface. We do just have a 2-burner Coleman stove. It tucks away in the back corner. We pull that out and it gets set right up here with our little propane. And we just have a 2-burner Coleman stove.
Well, so you use a little reuse, like those little propanes versus
Having a big hookup
having a big
outside.
tank.
Right,
Yeah.
which would be nice. But this works for now for what we use it for. It works fine. And then we have our sink here.
Wow, did you make that?
We did. We cut this out ourselves. We tried to maintain the shape so that it would fit back in. So that can set off to the side. So we have a nice big sink. It is just hand pumped, so we can wash our dishes here. And that goes down to a 6-gallon gray water from a 6-gallon clean water. So we just kind of rotate those out, empty that out, and refill when needed with our handy little hose there. And then we have a little bit of an area for kind of drying dishes that we usually just take some of our towels and put up here for drying. The nice thing about having a countertop level table is that we can also cook and chop here. So one of us can be over here cooking or chopping while the other one is over here cooking. So it's nice to have this higher topped table. I think that works pretty well to maximize cooking service. Sleeping. So this is our bed. Luckily Sarah and I aren't too tall. I'm 5'7", Sarah's 5'8", so we fit into this space just close enough.
You can't stretch your feet out, but
You can't stretch your toes too much, but we fit there quite nicely. If you're any taller, you might have to turn your sleeping situation. But for us, it worked. We actually built this with 2x4s off of the E-track. So we just have these nice little lock-in systems, these brackets
yeah.
that we tie in the 2x4s to, and then we put a piece of plywood over, and then that is our bed platform with a 5-inch mattress. Super cozy.
Where'd you get the mattress?
Online, Amazon. It's like some eco-friendly green tea.
The Zionist
Yes.
green tea.
Yes.
Oh, I've been trying to get that. It's back ordered.
Oh yes, it's really comfy. You can
I was just emailing with them today.
You can get on here and see how you like it. We did actually have to take 4 inches off of a full-size mattress, cut the edge off.
Oh, you did cut the edge off because that's what I'm waiting for. Is they don't have the RV Queen.
Right, we had to cut 4 inches off the end.
Oh, and it was easy to cut it.
Yep, we used a hacksaw.
Yeah, it was like
A handsaw.
handsaw. Mm-hmm.
A pretty easy handsaw. So we just cut that off and then that fits perfectly. So that is a nice platform. It's nice and high so the dogs can't get up unless you want them to. Always good to know.
Oh, that is good.
And then underneath we can store everything. So we kind of have dog alley here. Kiva, my dog, loves to sneak under there in her little cave. So we've got some storage for clothes, socks, that sort of thing, undies. We've got some kitchen things here in drawers.
Wait though. Is that all of both of your clothes?
She has socks and undies here and like kind of some sport stuff, swimsuits. And then I have one next to it. We just kind of move this out of the way.
Okay.
So we each have one, and then all of our clothes each are in a black box. So I have a black box on the right for my clothes. She has a black box on the left for her clothes. And then we each get a crate of shoes.
Oh, okay.
So that's about it.
I was like, oh, I felt like I lived like with minimal clothing, but then I saw this and was like, no, but it's okay.
We do, yeah. So
We're about the same. We're about
So
the
we each
same.
have one of these, and we each have a black box. And I figure someday we might build shelves or even get fancy and have drawers. But it's really nice to kind of live in the space for a while and see what you want to do with it before building it out completely, so that you make sure it functions well.
And these bins are really inexpensive versus like building something more permanent.
Right, yeah, and then these can be moved around, and we can figure out what works best and where we might want shelves or drawers later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then underneath, I don't know if you can get up underneath, we've used a little bit of, what's this called?
It's just metal strap.
Metal strapping, so that we can get our yoga mats tucked underneath the bed. And then we also have a camping table and 2 chairs tucked under there. So that's a great way to use some space underneath there that we can pull out and take outside and have our outdoor living area
And you
tucked
just
away.
got that at like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever?
Yeah, you got it.
Ace Hardware.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. It's a great idea.
So back in our little kitchen area, we're always trying to make sure we're using all of the space we've got. So our seats are actually little boxes I built with handles. And then this is our office box that we put things in there. Our toiletry box is over on this side. So we make the best use of all the space in there. And then I just made little cushions to sit on top so they're nice and comfortable. Handles on the side so they can be moved around, but they're heavy enough that they don't really move unless you hit a pretty big curb. So they stay pretty simple. Our table is locked into the E-track, but you can remove it just by taking out this post, and then they actually come off the E-track so that you can actually take this table out if for some reason you wanted more space in here. Usually it stays in place pretty much most of the time. Mm-hmm. And then dog beds beneath your feet. Mm-hmm. So the 2 dogs are there. And then what else do we have? A little bit of decoration. We have our 2 windows, which I've made blackout curtains for. So I just took an old rug and I cut it out the same shape so that way you can place that right inside. And that actually blocks out all of the light, but it also keeps people from seeing in. So if you're trying to be a little stealthy or not noticed on the road, that means people can't see in if you're sleeping somewhere overnight and want a little more privacy. So that works out pretty well for that. So we went all solar power for this rig. So we've got 3 100-watt solar panels up on top for 300 watts that comes down through the roof into here. We've got our control system down here. We do have a little meter so we can keep track of how our battery's doing. And then we also have 2 places to plug in like our phones or anything that runs off 12 volt there. This is a nice control panel. We've got light switches. Woo! And these are actually 2 extra ones in case we want to add anything more later.
Can you turn off the light for the battery monitor?
No, we actually, our trick right now, unfortunately, is to take this napkin and tuck it over.
Yeah, yeah. We have the same. But ours has a switch, so we do turn it off.
It would be nice, but we make it work. So then inside, we've got our 12 volt.
Yep.
12 volt battery, and then we also have our charge controller to make sure that our solar panels aren't overloading the system. Everything goes through the fuse box, and then our circuit breaker so we can cut all the power if we need to. And then this is our 1000-watt inverter. We keep it off most of the time to conserve energy. Most everything runs off 12, except for, charging a computer. The few times you need it, you can just pop it on. And then you have your 1000-watt for your 120 or anything else you need to run that off of. Even our fridge runs 12 volts, so that conserves a lot of energy. That's actually a Truck Fridge brand. They're great.
What's the name of the brand?
Truck Fridge.
Truck Fridge.
They're designed for like truckers, so they're designed to run off 12 volt. If you call them directly, you might get a good little ding and dang special. If you talk to the guy directly, it's really nice. Forget his name, but he's great.
And it's actually a lot of space in there.
Correct. Yeah, we can open her up. So we've got plenty of room. It does have these nice kind of spacers, so it holds everything right in place, so things don't move around. And it's actually pretty amazing how much.
Oh, I can feel how cold it is over here.
Yeah, how much space you can get, and they have things that are very adaptable, like but they can flip. So if you need something taller.
Oh, whoa, that is awesome.
And just a teeny tiny little fridge, not quite big enough for a Ben & Jerry's pint, but definitely some popsicles. Always just trying to make sure that we get the most out of our storage. So we found this nice, pretty inexpensive shoe holder, and that really works for all of our little odds and ends that don't have a place. And then a few little fun things. You always have to have Rosie,
road mascots,
and Ruth with you. They're road mascots, so we got to get them in there. They always watch over us as we're on the road. That's been really helpful. And then having the banana hammocks, or fruit baskets if you will, are really great for putting...
Definitely fruit baskets,
Fruit baskets.
not banana hammocks.
Yeah.
Especially in this place. So yeah, that holds a lot of different fruit. And then having a nice big pantry up here, and then we put all of our spices and things in here, and we actually have another fruit hammock that we use for clothes over our feet, because not a lot happens over our feet, so just trying to maximize storage, we put one of those up there as well. And then it's just about finding where you need little hooks, like your key hooks or your towel hooks.
Right, 3M is life.
3M is life.
I just really wish they would stop animal testing.
Me too.
Yeah, that's the bummer part.
We're doing great, DOGs. So actually,
Oh, that's pretty far actually.
so
Oh, and you have this, did the netting come with it, or did you get
no,
that?
we decided to get the netting because we knew we were going to encounter a lot of bugs along the way. So we wanted to make sure we had ventilation and still protection from the bugs. So we just bought this. This is actually just a screen door, like a French door screen that you can buy on Amazon with the magnetic center. So in the middle, you can actually open it up and pull it back.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
you can still get through if you want, and then it just is a magnet to hold it together. And that way we can have a lot of airflow coming through without letting bugs in.
Awesome.
This one has more room, flattens out. We put a couple jacks under it, and this becomes our patio. So we have a nice outdoor living space as well as indoor.
One of the things that really frustrates me about living on the road is how, when you're boondocking, it's really rocky and I can't do yoga. And I always thought if I had one of these, that I could do yoga on
You can
there.
fit exactly 2 yoga mats.
Oh,
side by side
fantastic.
Right there. Yeah, so that really works out well. And even just have a little, nice outdoor area that's not rocky or muddy or uneven. And then we'll pull out the chairs and the table and have dinner out here sometimes as well. So
Oh, wow, that's
yeah,
nice.
it's been really nice to have our patio.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking us on this tour today. I'm sure a lot of people are going to really benefit from what you've done in your build out. This is incredible. This
Thanks
is
so much.
really
Yeah,
great.
thanks
This is
for
really
including
great. Thank you for sharing.
Guys.
It was really hilarious. And I was like, Angie, put that away! And getting all nervous. And
That's so cute.
What's this?
Rocks they found in the area. Lots of
Cool.
crystals and
Crystal, yeah. I like finding rocks.
They're all around here. So,
We don't need any more rocks in a trailer.
I know, you really have to not gather a lot of rocks.
I think I have a geode. You know what I'm saying? Like the geodes you crack open.
But you gotta
But
crack it open.
I gotta crack it open, yeah, make sure I can get it.
Okay, so
So, here we are.
Here we are.
Um,
It's a stormy October 7th.
stormy October
And I'm
7th.
so tired from working this crazy bicycling event in Moab.
How was the Manhattan? Because sometimes Manhattans are not
Make or
on.
break, right?
Is it good?
Could have broken the deal right
Yeah.
there.
I didn't make it, for the record, but it was delicious because it's 98 Center. So I'm flirting. She's barely speaking. Her friends are inviting me to this soup party afterwards. So, this is not going on the internet, is it?
yeah, it was.